Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Susan and we are live at chmarietjiekeetauctioneers. Today we are selling Earth 289 Erasmus Rand. It's a guest house, and before I'm going to read the rules, Greta is going to discuss something with you regarding the guest house. Thank you very much, Greta.
Good morning and thank you for the opportunity. Good morning and thank you for the opportunity. What makes me really excited about this property is the fact that you buy a business and a home. The home is the 2-bedroom on my right hand side, and then the guest house with the 5 bedrooms. And then the wonderful plus, at the moment guest houses do well, especially smaller boutique guest houses. And then this one has a very big conference and function facilities. This is conference room number 1. And then upstairs in the function room, there's also space for conferencing. So I really look forward to good bids from you.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Greta. Registration. Kindly make sure that you have registered at the front desk and receive your bidding number and due diligence pack, as a prospective bidder cannot participate in the bidding process if not registered as a bidder and in possession of a bidder's number. It is important that all registered bidders must thoroughly inspect the property and read the offer to purchase before the bidding starts and must not bid unless he or she has done so. In terms of Section 55 of the Consumer Protection Act, the cooling off period does not apply to goods bought on auction. So what you see is what you get. Those of you who are married within a community of property must note that your husband or wife must also be present at the auction in order to sign the offer to purchase, should you be the highest bidder. A person who attends the auction to bid on behalf of another person, a company or a CC, must produce a letter of authority that authorizes him or her to bid on behalf of that person or entity. A trust must already be registered and in possession of a letters of authority of the Master of the High Court. Auction. We are selling per rising bid and the currency is South African Rand. On the fall of the hammer, the highest bidder is bound to his agreement of sale. The seller is not a VAT vendor, which means that normal duties will be payable at the receiver of revenue. The purchaser shall not be held liable for any arrears at the municipality if applicable, which means this is a private sale. This is an auction with reserve. In terms of Section 45, in a reserve auction, the seller reserves the right to accept or reject the highest bid over his reserve price. If the reserve price is met, the auction becomes absolute and the property is sold to the highest bidder and an agreement of sale is concluded. In the event that the highest bid falls short to the reserve price, the auctioneer will, in terms of Regulation 28.6 of the Consumer Protection Act, knock the property subject to confirmation in order to allow the seller to confirm or reject the highest bidder's offer during the acceptance period. The acceptance period in this instance is 2 business days. Should any subsequent bid be received from a third party during the acceptance period, the new third party bidder will register in terms of the original auction rules and will have only one opportunity to submit a higher bid. Should a higher bid be submitted, the highest bidder of the first instance shall have the sole right of refusal to equal or better such bid obtained. The offer to purchase shall be deemed to have been accepted when the seller signs the offer to purchase. So no money flows until the seller accepted your offer and signed the contract. The highest bidder shall sign the sales agreement or offer to purchase immediately on the fall of the hammer here at the front desk. The purchaser may not alter, amend or withdraw the agreement of sale or the offer to purchase. Auctioneer. The conduct of the auction is subject to the control of the auctioneer of the day, who has the sole right to regulate the bidding procedure. In terms of Section 45, the seller or his agent shall be entitled to bid up to the reserve price on behalf of the owner, but shall not be entitled to make a bid equal to or exceeding the reserve price. Payments, we have 3 payments. The first one is the purchase price. The second one is the auctioneer's commission, and the third one is the transfer costs. We go back to the first one, the purchase price is payable into the trust account of the conveyancer appointed by the seller. The purchaser has 60 days to deliver guarantees. Guarantees are only for the convenience of the purchaser. If the purchaser do not get a loan at the bank, the purchaser shall still be liable for payments. The second payment is the auctioneer's commission, which is calculated at 10% of the purchase price plus VAT, payable into the trust account of the auctioneer's attorneys. The purchaser shall make payment where the reserve price is met within 2 business days from date of the auction, or where the reserve price was not met and an offer to purchase was made by the purchaser within 2 business days after date of signature by the seller of the offer to purchase. And then your last payment is your normal transfer costs. The vendor's roll will be available at our auction house for a period of 3 years calculated from date of auction. On the fall of the hammer, the auction formally comes to an end. In the event that the auctioneer concludes with the words sold subject to confirmation by the seller, these words will then be the end of today's auction. The rules of the auction meet the requirements as set out in the Consumer Protection Act. Before I give you a chance to ask any questions, please note that in our final contract, there's small differences than the one that you received. Our general contract is the VAT clause. If you are a VAT vendor and you wishes to buy the going concern, the law says then the seller must also be a VAT vendor. The seller will then register as a VAT vendor if he wishes to do so. So I added that clause so we don't have the hiccup with VAT. Thank you very much. Any questions about the payments or anything else? Is daar enige vraag? Goed, baie dankie. Dan gee ons oor aan die afslaer vir die dag, chmarietjiekeet.
Daar meneer, daar, wil jy nie registreer nie? Gaan jy registreer vir ons of gaan jy, wat wil jy maak? Want ons allemaal is klaar geregistreer. As jy omgee nie, dan kan allemaal geregistreer wees en daar krijg jy vir 'n goeie prys en dan jammer jy is nie geregistreerd nie. Okay, I will speak English also because I can see a few people that want me to speak English. We will just wait a little bit for this person to register, because if you don't register, you cannot be participant in the auction today. This is one of the best guest houses I see in Pretoria. It is wonderful. The bedrooms is excellent, and I also think that the property is looked after. Yes. Just about 2 minutes and then you can go on. We're also on live streaming. That means everybody can, from their home or their office, they can look at the property and they can have a look and see what is going on live streaming. They can also bid online also, so you don't have to look at me. You can just look at the computer and do your thing that you want to do. Right, this is one of the best things to do. Let's start with an auction. Starting now at 4 million. At 4 million, I want 4 million. At 3.8 million, 4.8 million. At 3.8 million, I'll take 3.8 million in the back. At 3.8 million, I'll take 50,000 more. I've got 3.8 million, I'll take 50,000 more from you, sir. 3.8 million, 3.8 million there. I've got 3.8 million at the back, 3.8 million. At 3.8 million, I'll take 50,000 more. I'll take 10,000 more from you. I've got 3.8 million in the back, 3.8 million. At 3.8 million, I'm not going to close it for this price. I'm at 3.8 million, I'll take 5,000 more. I'm at 3.8 million, I'll take 5,000 more. I've got 3.8 million. At 3.8 million, I'll take 5,000 more. I'll take 10,000, I've got 5,000. At 3.8 million, don't lose it for 1,000 more. I've got 3.8 million. At 3.8 million, I'll take 10,000 more. At 3.8 million, I'll take 10,000 more. At 3.8 million, we cannot leave this property for 3.8 million. I'll take 1,000 more from you. Are you in for 3.8 million? I've got 3.8 million in the back. At 3.8 million in the back, I'm not going to close it for 3.8 million. At 3.8 million, after 3.8 million. At 3.8 million, 3.8 million, I'll take 5,000 more. At 3.8 million, at 3.8 million. We are not, I think you're a little bit cold. So I like it if you can just work with me. You know, this is the, yesterday I for an auction there in Durban, and it was so wonderful. It was just going on that the people was bidding. Friday we got another auction there that was going very good. So I'm at 3.8 million. At 3.8 million, I'll take 3.8 million. At 3.8 million, I'll take 1,000 more. At 3.8 million, I'll pay for 1,000 more. On 3.8 million, 3.9, 3.50,000. At 3.8 million, on the first time, for 3.8 million. For the second time, at 3.8 million, I'm going to open it, leave it open, I'm not going to close it on 3.8, so you can come back to me and you can put an offer in. So it will be open and you're welcome to come back to me. Thank you very much. And subsequent question by the owner, but I'm not going to close it, so you're welcome to come and see me. Thank you. Bye.
Excuse me,
Yes.
that is a commission over and above that.
Yes.
Okay.
What price did you was interested in?
No, Ron, it's just fine. Let's see.
Okay.
It's going to go to 3.8 plus 380. No, because we were looking at a ceiling of 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I didn't close it. So if you want to put
Yeah.
an offer in, you're welcome to put an offer in. You're welcome. Thank you. Thanks, sir.
Yeah.